Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. We have a very special guest. Violet is not being interviewed, but she does make an appearance in the podcast tonight. And so, very thankful for her. But did want to let you guys know that tonight's show is brought to you by K-Weave Sports. If you guys need any sports jerseys, sports memorabilia, anything that you can think of sports related, please go to Kyle. You can find him on Instagram at K-Weave Sports. He is the sports plug. The NFL season is right around the corner, which if you are not an NFL fan, I'm sorry about you, but I love football. I actually got banned from buying jerseys for a little bit because I was buying them so much from him regularly. And so, obviously, any of your Anthony Richardson jerseys, your favorite football team, basketball. I'm even sure you can probably get you some of the USA Olympic basketball team jerseys. But anything that you can think of from that standpoint, Kyle has it. So definitely reach out to him. And we appreciate him being a sponsor of the show. We've got a repeat guest for you tonight. It's going to be Jesse Guffey. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. It was a great interview. Love just spending time with Jesse and reminiscing on some of the glory days and talking a little bit about some faith things and how we grow. And then again, Violet gets to make her little appearance on her first podcast. So we're thankful for her too. All right, guys, we'll get into it. All right. And we're live with Jesse Guffey, the first returnable guest to the DadTalks Podcast.
Episode 1, and from what I hear, the best episode.
Probably. Turn this way. There you go. And then aim it up because you're like very tall and large. There you go.
There we go.
Oh man, it's funny because the first episode I did was with you, and I don't know if people can see it in the thing or not, but I did it in that little pantry closet with one little microphone, and I've now upgraded to doing some cool stuff, I guess.
Oh yeah, you got the full setup going now.
I know, it's awesome. So, but yeah, no, your first one was awesome, and I appreciate you doing that and coming back out for this one, and now everyone can see how beautiful you are and how large and kind of in charge you are.
Well, thank you. I really enjoyed the first time, and now we're going to have another good time here. So Absolutely. You texted me. It was for sure yes.
Absolutely, man. No, I had one of our fraternity brothers over this weekend, and we started talking about Joe Zedek, and it reminded me of how good of a person you are, and the fact that when Joey moved into the house, so if he's listening to this, he's not allowed to cry because I'm not going to cry. But when he moved into the house, me and you drove to Chicago to get all of his stuff. And in his little apartment with his mom, she had kindergarten through senior year of high school pictures up. But we got all of his stuff. And I remember we went out to dinner. And I don't know what happened, but we all ordered, the bill came, and you just saw this like look on, I think it was her face. So just like she wanted to pay for everybody. I don't know if she had the means to or not, but you're just like, oh no, I got it. And you just paid for everyone's dinner. It was one of the nicest things I think I've ever seen you do.
Well, I mean, you're supposed to be generous and give what you can. So I had some money. I was still very poor in college.
We
don't be wrong. But if you could do something that's going to make somebody else's time a little better and a little gesture like that, and just cut back yourself a little bit. Like maybe I just eat at the house for a week. You make all those little sacrifices, and I never even thought about it. So it's strange you bring it up. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, just what you do.
Yeah, it's still, that's probably one of my favorite. I remember whenever we were in the fraternity and we would recruit guys, I would always tell them, you're either going to have at least a few of your brothers be in your wedding party, which when I got married, I think all of them were SIGAPs. But even your brothers would literally give their shirt off your back to help you with something. And I think that day you made that happen. And then unfortunately, Joey's mom passed away, and the amount of people from SIGAP that showed up to that funeral Like, that still gets me kind of worked up because it was just, she was so awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. It's just,
I love Joe. I haven't talked to him in a couple of years since he moved to Texas. So,
yeah.
if you're listening, give me a call sometime. But yeah,
Same, please.
I mean, yeah, Joe was raised by a single mom. Like, that couldn't be easy, but she did a great job because Joe is one of the funniest, like, sweetest human beings on earth.
100%.
Just criminally honest. So
yes.
He is honest to a point where he probably shouldn't. But
yeah.
But yeah, so she did an incredible job. And I know when we came up there, she sent us with a big plate of cookies on the way back, which driving down I-65.
Oh, man.
One of the best ideas Logan's ever had was we were driving and Joe was next to us in traffic. And we thought Joe might want a cookie. So.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, this is like 70 miles per hour on I-65 coming back.
Yes.
The probably best physical accomplishment I've ever had in my life is getting a cookie, throwing it out the window on the highway, and getting it to arc back and hit Joe square in the chest.
100%. Oh, my gosh.
It was like those trick shot videos. They belonged in there.
Oh, yeah. That was before, like, if we had TikTok then, because I think Vine had just came out, but no one was, like, really using it, or it just
was big in the Weddle world. Yeah,
it was big in the Weddle world. But if we had gotten that on TikTok, it would have went viral. It would have
truly the most impressive thing I've ever.
And I still don't know how you did it.
It was just luck and timing.
Yeah, because I still had my truck then.
Yeah,
that thing was awesome. But
that was good times.
But yeah, I don't know how you did it. I actually forgot about that.
Yeah,
I forgot about the cookie. I remember the penny showers, whatever you want to call them. I don't remember what that was.
Yeah, you kept dropping handfuls of pennies out the window.
It's not something I'm proud of. I feel like I used to be a reckless teenager, and partly before I met Gabby.
Yeah, legal or not, your truck was incredible for just throwing a couch in the back and just riding around town. Like, you see your friends walking down the sidewalk, you just give them a shout out.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it may still be legal here, but yeah, you throw a couch in the bed of a truck and roll around campus, and you spot your friends and yell at Garrett and let them know, hop on in.
That was so much fun. I remember my freshman year, I said that I wasn't going to join a fraternity at all. I thought they were dumb, and all you did was party and get in trouble. And so I joined a fraternity and partied and got in some trouble, but not a lot of it.
Yeah, my mom, when she sent me off to college, like, one of the first rules is you're not joining a fraternity. So, like, a weekend after I get there, and I'm like, so Mom, I'm going to do this. And she's like, this was like the one thing we discussed. And I'm like, no, it's good. Because Damon Heiner, who's like the greatest salesman on earth, he throws out, he's like, this is what we can offer you. And this, it was just a full-on negotiation. And I was like, wow, this is great.
Yeah, him, Cody Cragen, Randy, Hoover Mail.
Yeah, everybody has like what they want out of it, what their sales pitch is to get him. And he could read it like nobody else. He'd be like, all right, this kid wants to party. That's a sales pitch. All right, this kid wants to use this for career development. All right. Because I grew up in Northeast Pennsylvania. I was 750 miles away from home. Like, my grandparents lived in Terre Haute, but other than that, I knew nobody in the state.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you kind of, that was his pitch to you for sure. But then you joined cheerleading. You were a cheerleader too, though, right?
Yes. So,
you say, yes.
Yeah.
Be proud of being a cheerleader. That was cool.
Yeah, 3 wonderful years of that.
You recruited because we got Cody Short and Tyson.
Yeah. So what do we got? Pratt was a cheerleader. Frank, R.I.P. Frank, didn't last long in college, but shout out. And then Tyson and Cody.
Yep.
And then like all of the people that they then spawned. So like I was talking about with Jay that like the amount of like random people that I found and ended up being the basis of the fraternity for a long time. Because what was it? Sophomore year, we were down to like 13 of us.
Yeah.
It was like a terribly low number. And
Yeah.
then Garrett just decided anybody from his hometown that's entering Terre Haute is
Yeah.
going to come. And yeah, so I just found a bunch of random people. And then through baseball, like I found Mike.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that was one thing, even when we got down to low numbers, we got very creative in how we recruited.
mm-hmm.
Like very creative.
Yeah,
like
I promise you're going to know everybody's name.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay. Like we are not the biggest fraternity, but we like, I don't know. Garrett started recruiting everybody from home. You had the cheerleading team. We lived in Sycamore Place apartments for a while, so we were recruiting people that lived in apartments. It was just Patty Simmons came up, realized that, after that whole thing got done, we did really well in the dark times of the chapter.
Yeah, because Tyson and Cody, like they ended up bringing everybody from Southern Indiana in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got so many random people as like a
because Devin was a cheerleader. Was he a cheerleader or was he just
was
from
a cheerleader
Scottsburg?
In high school with them, I believe.
Yeah, but not at
ISU. But then they brought him, and there was like 2 other people from their hometown that ended up coming in.
Yeah,
and then there was 2 other guys that were from Cloverdale that they didn't end up joining SIGAP.
Yeah,
but they gave us the great Matt Hall.
Yes, the great Matt.
Yeah, so that was one of the best discoveries ever.
Oh man!
But yeah, and then Mike. But yeah, there was a lot of random people because, and like it was the same thing I learned from Dan. Like you got to figure out like what their reasoning was.
Yeah.
Because some people are like, all right, this is a cool place I could live. Some people, wanted the social aspects of it. Some people wanted the like networking. Like my entire career is based off of one guy getting me a conversation that started my entire career.
Who's that?
So Pat, aka Biscuits, he had an internship in Tennessee with the Chicago Cubs team down there.
Okay.
So he ended up introducing me to people there. I was gonna go to Tennessee originally for grad school. And then he got me an internship with the Cubs, which then led to.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
old Biscuits.
If it wasn't for SIGEP, I don't know that I have the career path that I ended up getting from it. But like everybody has their like reasoning that they want to join in. Like you can make whatever you want out of it. I mean, there were some people that never attended a single social thing, but took advantage of all the leadership opportunities that were available.
Scuba Steve, a perfect example.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, there's no better person at being up randomly at 4:00 in the morning to catch you doing anything.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, you can't leave your room and walk down the hall at 4 a.m. or else he pops his head out.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you can get what you want out of it. So everybody sees like the movie version, which you can have that if you want.
100%. Yeah.
Probably not today, but
yeah, I think they're a dry house now.
Yeah.
I think every chapter across the country is a dry chapter.
Yeah. Like 2008 was a different time in the world.
For everything.
Yeah.
Like not just Greek life, but for everything. It was.
Yeah, it was the Wild West. Growing up in the Northeast and then coming to like Terre Haute, Indiana, it was like, this is wild what goes on here.
Yeah, I mean, I was from Indianapolis. Well, I guess technically still am, but like I never really heard of Terre Haute. The funny thing about it is the guy that I went to high school with, him and I like were very good friends, and we went to like all the ISU like campus tours together. We got lost going to Terre Haute one weekend, and he ended up, I think, staying at ISU for maybe a couple years, and then he dropped out. But the fact that like I didn't even know what Terre Haute was, and I live in Indiana, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I lived in Terre Haute for like 3 months when I was like 5.
With your grandparents or just
my parents? Like we came out to Indiana, we're gonna live there, like, and then my mom's like, I do not like it here, and so they moved back, and then I ended up going to school and growing up in PA. But there was like a summer that we lived in Terre Haute. We're like, all right, this is. So I was almost a Hoshian.
Yeah,
which would have been just another wild change.
That's the other thing is like being in Terre Haute was such a different environment because it wasn't it's like downtown Indianapolis on steroids. It's like there's not like there's one maybe good spot of Terre Haute, and then the rest of it's just like, all right, well, you can either drive a truck in a park or you can.
Yeah,
that's about it, you know.
Yeah, and I grew up in the mountains, like where it's all cities and everything. So I kind of got, and I remember the first time Garrett or somebody's like, "Hey, we're gonna go drive through a cornfield." I'm like, "Oh, you what?" Like, yeah, it's what we do here. Like,
yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I guess that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So it was just so opposite to everything I had ever.
Yeah.
And like everybody craps on Terre Haute. Terre Haute, like for college, it's like a perfect place to spend 4 years or however long you want.
Absolutely. And that was the thing too, is like I was from the city, and I feel like everyone that I joined with was not. Like everyone was from like the country or the mountains or like where there are not large city buildings in. And you guys all became my best friends. And it's like I don't understand how this all gels together, but it did. It worked, and it was a beautiful thing to know that there's so many different personalities that you can have in one room.
Yeah.
And still have so many things in common.
Yeah, and I was from the East Coast. Garrett was from a turkey farm.
Yep.
Aaron Hayes.
Lunch meat. I forgot about Hayes.
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm sure he's out in rural Illinois somewhere.
He's probably he was big into air shows.
Yeah, he's probably like throwing bales of hay and like watching planes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to know what he's up to.
Yeah.
So Sid was from
Evansville, right?
Yeah, like somewhere country down by Evansville.
I think he was from Evansville.
You have your
Elliot and Chad.
Yeah, from Carmel.
Yeah. So they were the other two city guys, I guess. But
yeah, but they let you know they're from Carmel.
Yeah.
And then Brandon.
Yeah,
he's from
Plymouth.
Yeah,
which is still like a very small town. It's not anything big.
I couldn't tell you where that's at still, but
I don't even know where it's at. Was that our whole class? And then me and you, right? Because we had 10.
If we're forgetting somebody, I'm so sorry.
I know, right? Like, well, and that's the sad thing. I think I was like, I don't know who I was texting the other day, but it's like we had to remember everyone's phone numbers and like everything. It's like couldn't tell you anyone's phone number anymore.
Yeah, that's the good thing is you had everybody had different area codes. Like there wasn't a lot of like it wasn't like 5317s in a row.
I'm trying to think if anybody, because you didn't live in Cromwell, you lived in.
I lived in my grandparents' house.
That's right, yeah. Because it was me and Garrett that lived on the 8th floor of Cromwell. I think we were the ones that joined on that floor. Because Mike joined the semester after we did, so he wasn't in our pledge class.
No.
Which is crazy to even think about. Yeah, dude, it's been wild. It's been a wild journey. And I still wear my blocks every now and then. Like, I'll wear them to, like, the grocery store. And everyone's like, oh, you were a SIG up? I'm like, yeah, I was. Heck yeah, dude. So, it's always nice
I have zero clue where mine are. I know when I graduated, so I ended up doing, chapter advisor for the SIG up chapter at Kentucky when I was there. But, I gave Jay all of my stuff. Because,
really?
I wanted him to have stuff. So yeah, Jay was ending his freshman year when I graduated. I was only there 4 years. Maybe he was a sophomore.
Big Jay?
Yeah. I don't know. I think he's.
I think he was. Yeah, I think he was a Well, he joined his freshman year.
Yeah. So.
But you, because I graduated a year after you did.
Yeah.
So
he had 3 more years after me.
Mm-hmm.
But so I wanted him to have my stuff, so I willed everything to him. And then figured, all right, I'll get more stuff down there.
Yeah, right.
Because, I did the chapter advisor thing while I was down there.
How was that?
It was very, very different. So there was a SIG up house in Kentucky. A different fraternity lived in it because of some stuff that went on in the 90s.
Okay.
So they owned a building, but it was being rented out by another fraternity, so they didn't have anything. So it was a very young, fresh chapter.
Mm-hmm.
I still see most of the guys once a year whenever I go down for homecoming at Kentucky. So
yeah,
and it's weird because they're all adults and have kids and everything now. So I'm like, you guys were just little freshmen in there.
Isn't it weird when you see people that you we're doing like Jaeger bombs with have kids.
Yeah, it's weird.
Just to be, I'm just gonna be very honest. When I found out you had James, it blew my mind. I was like, Guffey's a dad. That I don't know how to feel about that yet. But you're a great dad. Like you're awesome at it. I was just like, whew. I remember a lot of things about Guffey that I didn't know if Dad was going to be in his books in the future.
Well, that's like looking back at, like I've seen everybody in our class do wild things, whether it be things they've said, things they've done, whatever it may be, and then like when they're adults, like I've seen like some of the guys that were upper class when we came in, like they're with their wife and like their kids, like their kids are like 7, 8 years old now.
Yeah.
And like, I wish I could tell you what you're doing.
Yeah, right. But I think that's the part. I think that's a part of life. Like you go through seasons.
Yeah.
And I used to always tell people like I have 3 seasons of life. They were like pre-Gabby days, which I was just a wild animal, like nothing could stop me.
Put on a Peter Pan costume.
Yeah, no big deal, right? But they were just wild times before I met Gabby. And then there was post-Gabby days, which I was still like a wild animal, but she had tamed a lot of the, like I got hit by a car when I dated her because I drank so much.
I got the call.
I had to call my aunt because I was terrified to call my mom. And then there was like, so post-Gabby, pre-Jesus days. So that's that limbo. And then I got saved after college and it was like all different. I still, work through some of that. But yeah, there's just these seasons of life that I can just look back on like, yeah, that was definitely a pre-Jesus day.
Well, that's like everybody. So like whenever they bring up something on TV, like, oh, this person did this, like, okay, like I'm pretty sure one of the fundamental things is 1, forgiveness, and 2, like you gotta learn. Like,
yeah.
So like I'm sure our parents did wild stuff. Like we don't know about it. Maybe we know about some of it. You hear, but like people have always just like you gotta learn. Like so like I mean the Bible's full of that. Like you go out like do your thing, and your old prodigal son, like you go out and you gotta live it up, destroy everything, you come back, and then it's cool. Like, yeah, you did some dumb stuff, but like, we forgive you. So,
yeah, it's a big part of it too. It's like I don't think there is a perfect person other than Jesus in the Bible. Like everyone had their mistakes, that everybody. So it's like even Abraham, who's like the father of faith, like was had sex with another person that was not his wife, right? It's like everyone makes mistakes and everyone has their flaws in a lot of ways, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And we're just living and learning all at the same time.
Yeah, whether it be in life, career, any of those things, like you're gonna make mistakes. So I tell like people all the time that like whenever I would have students or anybody who's just starting off, you're gonna mess up. Accept that.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna happen. Nobody's gonna get mad at you. Yeah. You just gotta learn from it. You make the same mistake like 12 times, we probably got an issue because something's missing in the whole learning process. But like if somebody goes in interview and like, hey, what's a mistake you've learned from? Like, oh, I really don't have anything yet. Like, all right, cool, go spend a couple years and then come back to me. Right. Because unless you've had negative situations, then you can't really learn from it. Yeah. Because I thought back to like some of the things I've said early in my career. So I'll throw a quick one in there. So there was a kid that for sure tore muscle in his arm, and I was real confident in it. And my boss at the time, he's like, I don't think that's it. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like he's getting an MRI, so we're waiting on the MRI result. I saw the result page and it said, boom, torn muscle. Okay. And so I went to him like, hey, like, did you ever get the results? He's like, yeah, it was a torn muscle. Like, cool, I thought so. And then and he told me, he's like, someday you will be wrong and you're gonna look terrible. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, you'll know when that day happens. Yeah. And so that was like 23-year-old me, like fresh out of college, just feeling myself. Yeah. But yeah, like you got to make those mistakes, and once you get to the point where you can be like, hey, I know I did this wrong. Because if you can't take ownership of it, then like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Because like, you know, deep down, like you've made mistakes, like it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can take ownership in them and be like, hey, mess this up, learn from it, then cool. I don't care that you ever messed it up. Like,
Yeah.
you're now better because of that.
Mm-hmm.
If you messed it up and you internally know you learned from it, but you're not ready to admit it yet, like we're getting there.
Yeah.
But I think it's something like there's no negative in saying like, hey, I messed this up in the past, and
Right.
like there's plenty of redemption stories, and like I'd
Mm-hmm.
much rather somebody be honest with themselves and be honest. And,
Yeah. I tell my kids all that the time. It's like, if you're not honest and you don't own up to that, there's nothing that you can, like, there's nothing I can do to help you. Right? So if like you're not willing to tell on yourself, you're not going to get better. Hi, Violet. So kind of on that note, you went from baseball, because now you're with the Fuel, right?
mm-hmm.
So I guess talk to me, like, what was, obviously, like, the traveling was a big piece of it.
Yeah.
So
for the last, like, ever since I, had a child, being gone like 10 months a year, not ideal. So
Mhm.
like the first full season, James and Lauren went everywhere. Like you're on the road for 2 weeks, 6 days here, travel day, 6 days here, and then go back home to Oklahoma. You have spring training in Arizona,
Yeah.
and then whether they need you to go to California for different things, but whatever. I would be spending like a max of 10 weeks in my house per year. So like we've known and whatnot for a while that was something we wanted to get away from, whether it be moving to where we're going to work or finding something here. So Lauren like loves to like check and see what jobs are open all the time. So, and I'm going to be honest, I checked all the time too to try to find something that was like more family friendly.
Yeah.
So, she's like, yeah, it says Indy Fuel open. She's like, what's that? I'm like, oh, that's the hockey team. And we looked at it a little more. So they're building a new arena that's literally 5 minutes from our house.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. It's like, all right, I'll throw in an application just to see what happens.
Yeah.
Ended up getting the job.
Yeah.
And
Which, congratulations,
thanks.
by the way. Yeah.
Then I don't think she's ever been happier than saying like, hey, we get to like live at our house 12 months a year now. So,
yeah.
Like there are road games and stuff, but
they're not gone for.
Yeah. So you're gone from, I think the longest we're going to be gone this season's like 4 days.
Oh, wow.
That's
awesome.
Utah for some games.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's like, hey, we're going to go to Fort Wayne or Toledo and drive back the same night. So
yeah,
it'll be nice. And they practice the mornings and then games at night. So like after practice, I can go pick up James from daycare, hang out with him for a little bit until Lauren gets home, and then
nice.
Yeah, go to the game.
Is it different? Do you have to use different techniques like between baseball and hockey, injuries or players or anything like that?
So we haven't had any games yet, so I can't give you 100% answer. They both are rotational sports, and like getting hit with a puck is probably just as bad as getting hit in the face with a baseball. Like, yeah, you're gonna have the same trauma injuries. Like you're on ice and flying around on razor blades on your feet, so like there's like all the cuts and stuff that happen. It's like really really cold in the arena in the hockey rink, so I don't have to work in 120 degrees and sweat and feel terrible now. Like I just throw a sweatshirt on. Yeah. I was walking through the practice facility today and I was like, wow, this is freezing in here. And I was like, yeah, it could be outside like that. Yeah. In the wintertime, like 50 probably doesn't feel that bad in here. So,
right. Dude, that's awesome.
So, it'll be different. I'll have to give you a report back next year after a season, but
yeah, we'll get you back on here after one season with the Fuel. I've been to a couple of different hockey games before. Hi, you want to come over here? You want to be a special guest? Here, hold on 1 second. Hold on. Here, come here. It's technically not a podcast if you don't have kids on it, right? Or like a DadTalks podcast. Can you say hi? Can you say hi to everybody? Yeah? Do you want to say hi? Look, here.
Out of your children, I think she likes me the most. So,
Honestly, like Violet's the one kid that's not afraid of anybody, like at all. She has no stranger danger. She's like really. She's never had a shell. That's one thing about all of my kids. None of them have been introverts by any means. They're all extroverted kids. Well, Harper is kind of an introvert. She's like the mini Gabby.
yeah.
Like she's
So we
an
were talking
extroverted
about
introvert.
before we started.
Yeah.
Your three children are the most opposite children in the world. So can you run us through the differences between your three daughters?
So Harper's my glitz and glam child. Like, she told me the other day that she wants to have her own YouTube channel, and she was like, "Dad, when I get 1 million subscribers, will you throw me a party?" I said, "Well, if you get 1 million subscribers on a YouTube channel, you can throw me a party." So like she is like my go getter, glitz and glam.
Maybe she'll shout out the podcast for you.
Maybe, you never know, right? Like maybe that's where I get my viral hit from. No, I think she's my glitz and glam kid. So she's the one that just like she started her own trash business so she could get money for Disney World. You know what I mean? Like she's that kid. She's also probably going to be a lawyer because all she does is fight and argue with us about anything and everything. Like she has to be right about all of it.
But she's getting her reps in now.
Yeah, Lily is me in child form, which is terrifying.
Were you that fast though?
No, I was a fat kid, dude. I was a big kid.
She's the fastest child on earth. I'm just putting that out there.
I will challenge any kid on the face of the earth to race Lily, and they will lose. Like she runs around with like the 10-year-old kids in the neighborhood, and she like beats them on foot races. Like it's wild. So my brother's son came over here, and he's really fast. He plays football, and they had, I think he's 7.
Mm-hmm.
He's maybe the same age as Harper, a little bit younger, maybe. And him and Lily raced, and they were like neck and neck, pretty much.
Yeah, Logan's not encouraging gambling on children's athletic.
But if you were, I would hammer the over on Lily. I'm just saying. Yeah. But no, she's my athlete. Very, like, she's gonna be the next salesperson of the family, like 100%. Like she knows no stranger. She loves people. She's a sweetheart. Like we always, before Violet came, we called her our Sour Patch Kid. Because she'd let you hold her, she would slap you across the face and then just give you a big hug. Like she was like one of those Sour Patch commercial kids, But she's great. Like she's my athlete. She runs. She just learned how to ride her bike, so that's all she wants to do is just ride her bike. Like the last 2 nights have been struggles getting her to bed because she just cries herself to sleep. Like, I want to ride my bike. I'm like, you can't. Like, we have to take a break. And honestly, now that I think about it, like all she does is eat carbs, and she's got a pain tolerance out of nowhere. Like she got her tonsils taken out a few weeks ago, and like refused to take ibuprofen or Tylenol. Just like refused to. So she ended up in Riley because she refused to take all of her medicine, and she got a stomach bug, threw up, like a lot of stuff happened, and then they ended up just giving her like Tylenol and stuff in like an IV. And then they were like, "Hey, you have to take medicine to like go home." She's like, "Okay." Took her medicine. Then as soon as she got home, she's like, "I'm not taking medicine anymore." Like she's just a tough kid. Like she's a tough. So she's my tough, athletic, just very outgoing child. And then there's Violet, who is a sweetheart, and she knows that she's sweet, and she knows she's cute, and she can get away with things. But she's also, I haven't really figured her out yet. Like she's still young enough to like mold, but the problem is that Lily has taken her under her wing. Mm-hmm. So she's becoming a sneakier version of Lily, and I don't know how I feel about that yet.
Yeah, they start training each other to work against you.
Yeah. So like if you had like a baby spy movie, Violet would be like the distraction, like getaway driver kid, you know, because she has that like sweet, you know, innocent face on her, and but she loves to like snuggle up. Like I've had this notion that her and Lily are like almost empaths, and they can like feel people's emotions. And so like there are times that like I might have a bad day or something, and like her and Violet will like just like, you know, give me hugs, and like Harper like starts to sense it after some things have happened, you know. But they all like understand people.
Is she
at a
still
very young age.
extreme? Last time I was here, she stood up on the table and then
Which one?
Violet.
Oh yeah, she still does it.
She stood up on the table and then gave me the flying hug.
Yeah, she's very bold. Like she's also extremely smart. Like we have to push the chairs in so she doesn't climb on the table, and she's now learned how to pull the chairs out to get onto the chair, to get onto the table, and to do all this stuff. So she's really, oh, I know, I love you too. So she's my smart, cute child that you can't trust with a whole lot. Here, can you say hi? Can you say hi? You're not shy. You're not shy. I know you're not. You're not shy. She also is a terrible sleeper. She's gotten this habit where we'll put her down at like 7:30. By 9 or 10, she's like up, and she wants to either like be down here, or like we have to put her in her bed sometime.
Well, there's stuff going on. She doesn't want to be left out.
She doesn't. Yeah, she's
social baby.
She has FOMO, like bad. She has bad FOMO. It's crazy. But I love all my kids very much, and they're all good kids. Are you and Lauren gonna have any more?
That's the plan. I have at least one more. But
James is still by far the biggest baby I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I weighed him yesterday. He weighed himself. He likes to just go stand on the scale and just check in. He's 34 pounds now. So I didn't figure out how tall he is. He's at least 3 feet tall.
He's 3 feet tall and 30, and he's not even 2 yet, right?
Violet,
he's a year and a half.
Lily just got weighed at the doctor, and she's 32.
Yeah.
He's the size of my 4-year-old child. I love it.
Yeah, he's massive.
I mean, but like, I feel like that was the one thing that you always talk about in college. You're like, I'm going to find another tall person, and we're just going to make NFL linebackers as our offspring. And I was like, okay. Yeah, you can't mess with that stuff, though. Here you go. Here, you want to mess with that? Here, you can play with that. There you go.
Yeah, so he's left-handed. So, like, we're really hoping that stays. Because, whether you like it or not, he'll walk over, grab whatever ball he can find, and then he's going to chuck it at you. Yeah. But yeah, he is the largest child. My brother's middle child, who's like a couple years older than him, is the same size, and she doesn't like get the concept that he's just a baby, so she like challenge him to things. But
yeah, that's so funny, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, that's crazy. He's a good kid. Like he's been over here a couple times, and he's like well behaved. Like he's good. So yeah, he doesn't yell violently during podcasts or anything.
Yeah, he's really behaved during podcasts. He just really respects the art. But yeah, he like Lauren was in California over the weekend, so if he's just hanging out with me, he does no wrong. Like he'll be real quiet, get in the car. He's just happy. You'll put him in the car, like you'll think, is he asleep? And no, he's just hanging out, playing with his stuff in the back, like super well behaved. And then I don't know, like what beef he has with Lauren, but whenever she tries to put him in the car, he's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, this ain't happening.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
It's like, okay, look, see, now you messed up. Now she's going to go give you more stuff. She's very kind. Generous.
Yeah, when Jordan came over the other day, that's what James brought him every toy that he owned. Mm-hmm. And he's like, check this, though.
This is the best one.
Yeah, like, you've seen the football, but have you seen the soccer ball?
Yeah.
And just decided he was going to run him through his whole collection of toys.
Right. Oh, man. Dude, that's awesome. Well, I'm proud of you for where you're at, and I'm glad you're back. You're like 10 minutes away from me now. That's awesome. Like, I'm really excited that you're
super close.
Home turf again. So it'll be fun to have you back. And then when the season starts, I'm sure we'll probably go to some games and watch you in action, and
Thank you.
watch it. Tape up some ankles and.
I hope none of that.
What do you think the over under is on how many teeth you have to fix or
I was
assess?
like reading through the injuries of the past few years. Like, there's a lot of them. So yeah, that's gonna be a fun change.
Yeah,
Some nice dental injuries and all that, but it'll be good. But yeah, exciting here in Fishers, the new event center. You're gonna have a hockey team in there. There's gonna be pro volleyball, arena.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, arena football is coming. So, and then the Pacers are moving the G League to Noblesville here. So
yeah, it's gonna be which kind of sucks for Fort Wayne because that was a big thing for them.
Have you been to Fort Wayne?
That's where my sales territory is at. Yeah.
Maybe you like Fort Wayne. Nothing against Fort Wayne. It's just not a place that I would want to spend time.
It's the second largest city in Indiana. I don't know if you knew that. It's
good for them.
Good for them. That's
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm good on Fort Wayne.
Well, you have three. You owe me 3 questions. The first one is Violet's back. 3 pieces of advice. What would they be?
We did this last time.
I know. Now you got to do 3 more pieces.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
You can tell them to Violet this time.
It's so sweet. I think one that I've learned is if you're making a decision and you put your family first in your decision, you're not going to regret whatever you make. So whenever you have to make difficult choices, if your core value and whatnot is your family, if you think about it from their perspective, you'll never regret the decisions you make.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were talking about earlier, like you got to learn from the decisions you made early on in life, whether they be good things and positive habits that you learn and take from, or things like, I probably shouldn't do that. And the third thing would be when you're driving from Chicago back to Terre Haute, chocolate chip cookies are best for tossing car to car.
Agreed.
And if anybody, I'm not recommending this, but if anybody happens to hit a trick shot, please share it over. I would love to see it because it's too late for our trick shot.
100%. Yeah, that is your ticket to fame as a chocolate chip cookie trick shot for sure. Okay. Oh, you can't mess with that. One dad joke. What would it be?
It's podcast appropriate. So yeah, I was thinking about this when you texted me the other day, and I found one, and I was like, "This is it." And now I can't remember it.
And now you can't remember it.
Yeah, I can remember the one that I want to tell you after this, though.
If it makes you feel better, I've been using this one a lot lately, and it's been killing. So, what's the difference between Dubai and Abu Dhabi?
What?
The people in Dubai don't like the Flintstones, but the people in Abu Dhabi do.
That's a good.
It's always in the chamber.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That one's been doing really well actually.
Yeah, I've been getting pretty decent with them, and I hit Lauren with a couple last week, and she just gave me like the most blank stare. She's like, "That's not funny." I'm like, I thought it was hilarious.
The fact that you said that means that it is a great dad joke.
Yeah, like, that was actually incredible. So I will be using that. So,
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's all rights reserved or whatever.
Yeah, next time I have a good one, I'm just gonna text it to you.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll share it with everyone. And then lastly, do you have any prayer requests?
I got none right now.
Okay.
But do you have any that anybody sent in?
I don't have any that anyone sent in. I need to do. I've started to do. I guess for me personally, I've started to do like a Bible study podcast on here too. So every Thursday, I'll be doing I'm reading through the book of Philippians right now. So I did Philippians 1 last week, and then I'm doing Philippians 2 this week.
You gotta get to 4. That's where the money's at.
Dude, that it's just like it all like culminates in 4, and that's the book of Philippians is my favorite book of the Bible, I think, just because there's a lot of joy from a place that is not joyous. You know, and if you can find joy and peace in places and trials of hardship, then you can do anything in life, anything. So, and the fact that Paul can do it while he's locked up, just singing songs and praying and preaching the word, like I think people will be okay. So
that's one of my like favorite pastimes is to just find the most obscure Bible verse possible, and like whenever we go to eat or do something, just like throw it in there and be like, and then just throw it.
Yeah.
And Lord, like, what?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything? Like, it's in there.
It's in there. So we used to do a couples Bible study before we had kids, and Gabby and I led it for a couple years. And I remember I would do like in the YouVerse Bible app or whatever, you can find like a verse of the day. And so every week, like the verse of the day, I would like read it, and then I would craft some like 5-minute message around it. And you'd be surprised on like how much you can gain from one verse to like food to give people. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty powerful stuff. So
yeah, I love finding some just wild Old Testament.
Oh yeah, like when they're like, there's this thing on TikTok that I've been following. It's called the AI Bible, and basically and I don't know, I think it's just a search engine or something. But this guy, yeah, I got you. This guy will like put in photos, and he's like, how some people think, I don't know, like Jeremiah talked to God, and it's like, you know, different like not cartoon pictures, but like old style photos, right? And then it's like, but how the Bible describes it. So he's taken that and he's put it into like an AI engine. Dude, some of them are just like, it makes your imagination, like it brings the word to life in a different way.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I've always loved is like, you're gonna again get what you want out of it. So based on your life experience, you know, everything, like what I read and what you read may end up having wildly different messages.
Oh yeah.
So
but that's the point of it too. It's like I could read the same passage 100 times, and 50 of the times that I've read it is going to say something different. Because I think it's just what you're going through in that season of your life, where your mind's at while you're reading it. Like, just that's, to me, like that's what the Holy Spirit does. He just speaks to you in some different ways.
Yeah.
You know.
And then when we die, we find out if we were right or not.
Yeah. So listen, even
get your question list right. So when you wrote this,
what are you trying to say?
Yeah, you're gonna get kicked out like a day and be like, okay, so can we stop with the questions here? Like,
right.
You got eternity. But I wanted to know, referencing here, what'd you mean there?
I wanted to know what would happen if the Seahawks actually ran it instead of passing it in that Super Bowl.
Yeah. Like, hey, you got in, you did fine.
Yeah, right.
But again, I want clarification.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I appreciate you coming out here and doing this and hanging out with me for a little bit, and I'm glad you're back in town.
Yeah, right down the street. So had no excuses. We got to hang out.
I know. I know. Now all the excuses are out. Now you don't live across state. So, but we'll do it again. I'm sure, and we'll keep having you on, and we'll see what this one does. The last one you did I think it's got the second most views, and now it's on video, so it's gonna.
Who's beating me?
His name's Roth. He's the guy that I work with at Paycom. He's a good guy. He's a good dude.
All right, fair enough.
He's good dude. It's
Roth.
Yeah. It is funny because everyone always, whenever I have people on, they're like, "All right, how many views is my episode get?" I'm like, I don't know, like 20. And then some have gotten 30. I think yours has like 65, something like that. It's pretty big. So maybe this is a better turnout, or they'll just turn it off as soon as they see, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that."
They're like, "Wow, did I turn on the television?" Besides some type of bottling show.
Oh my gosh. Well,
yeah,
dude.
I'm sure we'll do this again. So if anybody has any questions for the next one,
Yeah, we'll get there. I'm sure we'll get there. So, but I appreciate you, man, and I'll see you next time.
all right. Love you.
Love you too, man. How fun was that? Was that fun? Can we give him a round of applause? Yay! We had a good conversation with Guffey and really thank him for being on the podcast, right? Yeah, we thank him. But we are going to go ahead and get into prayer requests. Guys, if you have anything that you want myself to be praying for or add to our prayer list, I would love to do that for you guys. So I want to make sure that you guys are heard. This Thursday, we will be doing Philippians 2 for our Bible study, so please tune in for that podcast. And feel free to leave comments below on any prayer requests or any Bible studies that you want to do in the future with me. So let's go ahead and get into prayer requests. Dear Lord, we love you, and we thank you so much for today. We thank you for this podcast. We thank you for the platform that we have. We thank you for the parents and the kids and all the families that you're using to spread the good news and spread the gospel. Really just want to say thank you for all the guests that have been on the show, all the ones that are going to continue to share their stories. I pray that you use their experience and their stories and even them to, let people know who you are and to find peace in you. Lord, as we go through this week, I just pray for anyone who does have a request that wasn't able to share it, or anyone that's in need or struggling with anything, or even wanting to give a praise. I pray that you hear that and that you listen and that you're just right there to help guide them through their journey. Lord, we love you. We thank you, and we ask this all in Jesus' name. And everyone said, Amen. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.